Right now is the time to start planning for your success for the upcoming new year. New Year's resolutions are so 2000s. By the time the new year rolls around, you're already behind the 8 ball. To succeed in 2023, you need to be prepared to execute starting January 1st. That means putting together a plan right now. And frankly, it can be a little bit intimidating to think about the future. But if you take the time to properly prepare, you'll be in a much better position to reach your goals in 2023. And through careful planning and dedication and preparation, you can begin to shape your own destiny and create an environment that will lead to success in the coming year. So, like, subscribe, click the notification bell if you want more videos just like this on how to improve your personal finances, which is what we cover here on Finance Squared. With me, your host, Derek West. Let's dive right in. By following the steps in this video, you'll be able to identify and set goals, create a strategy for achieving them, and make sure that you stay on track and remain motivated throughout the process. One of the steps that you need to take to be successful in 2023 is to assess your current situation. Now, before setting goals and strategizing, you should take a step back and assess where you are right now. The first things you should look at is where your finances are at. But keep in mind, this applies to your all-around life as well, especially if you have bigger goals outside of getting your finances in order or taking the next step in your financial journey to success. What do I mean? Well, let me give you a couple of examples. Do you have your credit in order? What is your credit score? Do you have a realistic goal to move the needle and get it to where you need it to be? If not, there's no time like the present, so set that goal right now. How is your investment portfolio looking? Is it a little shaky at the end of 23, like so many of ours are, thanks to the rocky year we've had in crypto and stocks, etc.? Where do you want to take it for next year? How many income streams do you have? I imagine few, if any, people will have too many income streams, but you never know. Whatever it is, figure that out now. What are your career prospects? Are you making the money you think you should be making based on your skills and talents? Remember, the income streams that you pull in lead to the money that you make. The money that you make helps to increase your personal finances if you know how to do it right. If you're not making the money that you think you should be making, right now is the best time to think about that and figure that out. That leads us to the question of whether or not you want to be making more money in 2023. If you do you have the skills you need to get that done? If you don't have those skills, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Have you received actionable feedback from your peers or others on where you need to improve and what skills to take a look at to add to your repertoire? Knowing the answers to these type of questions will give you the foundation to form action items that you can start tackling right now. The more information you have, the easier it will be to set goals and create a strategy for achieving them. You also need to take into account any major life changes that might be on the horizon. A quick example would be, are you expecting a child? That's going to have a huge impact on your available time, finances, and energy levels. And of course, a change like that can be stressful, but also exciting and rewarding. So it's important to plan for these type of situations so that you have a game plan for dealing with them and you're not overwhelmed by the change as they happen. Another step in being ready for 2023 is to set realistic and attainable goals. Once you have a clear picture of your current situation, you need to start setting goals. Setting goals, well, that's an essential part of the success process. It's important to set goals that are realistic and attainable and also time boxed. What do I mean by time boxed? You set a goal for yourself and you set a time frame for when you want to achieve that goal. Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it a month? Is it 2 weeks? All goals should be time boxed. And I'm a big believer in setting huge goals. But a goal without a plan is a wish, and a goal with a plan and no action is a wish list. There's no point in setting goals that are too challenging or impossible to reach in a realistic time frame. I want to be a billionaire in the next 2 weeks. Not going to happen. So if you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. What you want to set are goals that will stretch yourself and inspire you, but also goals that you can achieve. For example, spending 2 hours every day working on your personal skills so that you can get a job that increases your income. Setting goals that are too easy, that's not helpful either. Setting goals that are too easy is an anti-pattern. They don't push you to achieve your full potential. Because of that, they're not useful. When setting goals, you need to find a balance between being challenging and being realistic. I'd rather set goals that I'm more likely to fail, but just miss, not completely miss, than to set a goal that's too easy, that I know that I can do. But different people have different motivations. So it's finding that balance that is the tricky part. Goals should be challenging, and to take account your skills and your abilities. We talked before about assessing where you're at with your income and your income stream. If you think you might not have the skills to increase your income stream, that is to get a better job or to execute a side hustle, typically the best ways to earn more money, then you should set a goal of getting or expanding on a skill. Again, that's where the self-assessment piece comes in handy. A step you should take to set yourself up for success in 2023 is to establish a timeline after you set your goals. It's important to establish a timeline for achieving them. A timeline will help you stay on track and prevent you from losing focus and getting distracted. It's also a great way to keep you motivated and inspire you to keep pushing forward. There are 2 ways you can go about creating your timeline. You can either set a timeline for each goal individually, or you can group similar goals and create one large timeline. The first approach is ideal if the goals you want to achieve are independent of each other. If you want to save money for a house and get a promotion at work, these are two separate goals, and you'd want to create two timelines for them. But the second approach is ideal if the goal you want to achieve are related or have to happen at the same time. For example, if you want to get your degree and become a manager at work, these two goals are closely connected, and you would want to create one timeline for them. Just a quick example, but a pro tip for both techniques is to break down your goals into actionable mini goals that you can achieve in a short timeline. A good chunk of time that a lot of people like to use and try to aim for is 2 weeks. If you're trying to learn a new skill or get a certification to get a better paying job by summertime, you can break that goal into 2-week chunks. For example, identify an online class or certification that you can take. That could be goal 1. Goal 2 could be attend and pass the certification class. This really depends on what type of class it is. If you're looking to get an MBA to get a better job in management, that's likely going to take years, but you get what I'm saying. Goal number 3 could be to update your resume to begin to apply to jobs that meet your requirements, etc. Like I like to talk about, your goals should be challenging enough to stretch yourself, not necessarily too simple. A step you should take to succeed in 2023 is to identify obstacles. As you set your goals and create a timeline, you also want to identify potential obstacles that could get in the way of reaching those goals. This is important because it will allow you to plan for potential challenges and figure out how to overcome them. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when planning for their success is that they don't plan for their failure. They fail to see that they will run into obstacles on their way to success. But if your goal is something that you truly want, then your failure to achieve that goal should not stop you. It should instead be a learning or inflection point and a stepping stone to your future success. An obstacle could be anything from a financial issue to a bad habit you need to break. If you know the potential obstacles that could hold you back, you can plan for them preemptively, take action, overcome them, and prevent them from becoming permanent roadblocks. You can identify potential obstacles by asking yourself some key questions. For example, what are the challenges that you might face? What do you have going on in your life that might make it more difficult to achieve your goals? What are your weaknesses and vulnerabilities? Combined with your knowledge of what your short-term and long-term goals are, you'll be able to identify many obstacles that are in your way. Next up, create a strategy for achieving your goals. Now that you've set goals and you've identified potential obstacles, it's time to create a strategy for achieving those goals. If you have set your goals and you've identified potential obstacles, it's time to create a strategy for achieving those goals. Your strategy will take into account the action items you identified while keeping in mind potential obstacles that you face. This is where the previous steps really shine. So they've already helped you to identify what your goals should be. You've already identified what might be your roadblocks in achieving those goals. You've also set those goals so they're not too small or too big to inhibit your success. Now all you have to do is put those things together into a strategy that lets you take action step by step. And taking action is a very important part of any goal. You can't just sit around and wait for life to happen. You have to take action and make things happen. This is the most important part of the success process and is where most people fall short. They set goals, they create timelines, they identify obstacles, but they don't take action and make those goals happen. You have to take action and you have to push yourself to achieve your goals. You have to get out of your comfort zone and do what you need to do to succeed. You have to break out of your old habits and routines if you're ever going to make a change. You need to stay motivated, and even more than that, execute on your goals and take action when you're not motivated. In other words, push yourself throughout the process. It can be easy to get lazy and stuck in a rut. And when the first sign of resistance comes around, to just quit. That's where discipline comes in and executing despite how you feel. Even if you have negative thoughts or doubts about your plan or your action plan, if you remain disciplined and you remain optimistic and you execute even when things aren't going your way, you'll hit your goals. And then you'll have the opportunity to reassess if this is really where you want to be in life. A step that you need to take to succeed in 2023 is to stick with your goals, even if you can't stay motivated. Sure, you know how to set goals. You know how to create a strategy. And you've taken some action. The key to really achieving any goal is to stay motivated, or more accurately, take action even when you're not motivated throughout the process. Many people wonder, how do you stay motivated and keep pushing forward towards your goal even when you don't feel like it? The truth is, most successful people lose motivation to achieve their goals, but those same successful people find a way to stick to the process even when their motivation just isn't there. One of the best ways to do that is to surround yourself with the right type of people that have similar goals as you. Doing that will help to create a community to motivate you to achieve what you want to achieve. People that do not necessarily agree with the goal that you have in mind, well, they can drain your energy and cause you to doubt whether or not your goal is worth it. And in the end, they might convince you to give up. The hard part is finding the right kind of people to be engaged with in the first place. If your goals are financial, which they most likely are if you're on this channel, then getting into the comments section and talking to other people and looking for channels that are similar and things of that nature can help you maintain and keep your goals. In the financial world, one of the best things you can do is to attend seminars and meetups and groups where people talk about similar things like cryptocurrency, stocks, getting into investment clubs, getting into debt reduction clubs. All of these things will help you to stay motivated even when your initial motivation starts to wane. A key step to succeed in 2023 is to celebrate your successes. One of the big things that help you to stay motivated and help you to achieve your goals is to celebrate when you've hit a goal. In other words, to celebrate your successes along the way. Now again, it's easy to do that when you set mini time-boxed goals. When you hit one of your goals, give yourself a mini reward. Again, something that's not too big and flashy, but will keep you motivated enough to keep you going. When you hit your bigger goals, step up the reward that you give to yourself. You want to make sure that you don't overwork yourself and just keep in that rut of continually overworking. That can be one of the factors of demotivation. And rewarding yourself commensurate to the goal that you just achieved is key and can almost be a carrot on a stick, as it were, to help drive you towards the overall big picture. Basically, celebrate your successes and achievements along the way. It can be very easy to get caught up in the everyday hustle and forget to take time to recognize where you were and how much you've achieved in the time that you've worked. So it's important to mark these successes and take the time to enjoy them. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. What are the steps that you're taking to be prepared right now for successes in 2023? And remember, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but a goal without a plan is a wish, and a goal with a plan but no action, that's a wish list. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.